every time we're set to go, something happens with Ozzy's health, and so we'll get there. We want to go back so bad.
Now our ABC News exclusive with Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne, their first TV interview since Ozzy's recovery from a major operation.
Sharon Osbourne has stood by Ozzy, the legendary Prince of Darkness, through every storm, disaster, and now, a fight he can't win. After decades of holding their chaotic world together, she's facing the hardest goodbye. Ozzy's health has crumbled under Parkinson's and relentless surgeries, leaving him unable to walk and the family bracing for the end. Sharon's been his rock manager and everything. But how do you let go of the man you rebuilt from nothing? Join us as we uncover Sharon Osbourne's heartbreaking journey through Ozzy's final battle. A story of love, strength, and an inevitable farewell.
I tell my doctor this and he goes, how the are you alive, you know? Why are you breathing? I'm a biological miracle as far as he's concerned.
The end of the road. Sharon Osbourne is facing her toughest test in 2025, a year pushing her strength to the brink. Ozzy's health has crumbled, Parkinson's and spinal damage have confined him to a wheelchair, his once robust frame now frail, though his voice still carries that defiant edge. They're gearing up for a Black Sabbath reunion show on July 5th at Villa Park, Birmingham, a wild idea sparked by Ozzy's refusal to fade quietly. Sharon's thrown herself into making it happen, juggling doctors, crew, and bandmates Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. She sits with Ozzy during planning, his raspy laugh breaking her tension. "We're doing this?" he asks, half in disbelief. "You bet we are," she replies, her focus unshakable. This isn't just a concert, it's his goodbye, and Sharon's determined to make it epic. Fans are hyped online, dubbing it the metal event of a lifetime, their love driving her to keep Ozzy going. But would this final act be his triumph or her breaking point? Watch on to find out. Rehearsals are a roller coaster of highs and lows. Sharon set up a home studio, amps, mics, and a custom throne for Ozzy to sing from. His voice croaks through Iron Man, shaky at first, but building to that haunting strength. She watches, heart racing as he pushes past exhaustion, sweat dripping down his face. "You're killing it," she says, masking her worry with a smile. Some days he beams, alive again. Others he collapses, too weak to continue, and Sharon wheels him away in silence. Doctors linger, adjusting his meds, cautioning her about the strain. "He needs this," she fires back. Music's his lifeline. She's betting it can carry him through. Kelly and Jack help out, Kelly shouting encouragement, and Jack fine-tuning the sound. The family's all in, desperate to see Ozzy light up one last time, even as Sharon feels the clock ticking louder every day. The spotlight's on them now, and Sharon's feeling it. Headlines scream Ozzy's last stand, and Sharon's farewell to the Prince. She scrolls social media at night, fans posting pleas. "Give us one more, Sharon." Just the fuel she needs, but the fear creeps in. Can he do this? His body's failing fast, worn down by years of battling Parkinson's and spinal issues. She lies awake, obsessing over details. The set list, the lighting, the throne's black velvet. "He'll look like a king," she tells Tony Iommi over the phone. She's not just planning a show, she's crafting Ozzy's final moment in the spotlight. The pressure is immense. This has to be perfect. Sharon's barely sleeping, running on coffee and willpower, knowing this could be the last thing she does for him. The world's watching, and she won't let them down, or him. Ozzy's mind is slipping, and it's tearing Sharon apart. Some days, he blanks on lyrics mid-rehearsal, staring into space, or calls her love, like he's not sure who she is. Parkinson's is ruthless, gnawing at his memory as much as his body. She nudges him gently. "It's paranoid, babe," and he growls back into it. Other times, he shuts down, depression swallowing him whole. Sharon sits by him, recounting their wildlife to pull him back. "Remember San Antonio?" You got us banned." He'll smirk, a flicker of the old Ozzy. "You're my rock," he mumbles, and she fights tears. She's his everything now. Wife, caregiver, memory keeper. Kelly and Jack try to ease her burden, but Sharon's glued to his side. She needs him to feel her there, especially now as the end feels closer than ever. July's closing in, and Sharon's grappling with goodbye. She stares at Ozzy, his thin arms and trembling hands, and feels time running out. "I'm not ready," she whispers alone, tears staining her pillow. He senses it too, saying one night, "I don't want to leave you." She holds him, sobbing, promising he won't, but the truth stings. Doctors say his body's near its limit. The show's her anchor, a way to lock him in as the Prince of Darkness forever. She's pushing harder, perfecting every beat of that night. Not just for him or the fans, but for herself, a last grasp at their life together. Sharon's exhausted, but she won't stop. She's carried him through worse. She'll carry him to this. The end is near, and she's not letting go without a fight. July 5th is months away, and Sharon's a bundle of grit and nerves. She's double-checking Ozzy's health with the doctors, tweaking his throne, practicing his entrance. It's got to be flawless. Fans are already in Birmingham, camping out, chanting his name. Sharon sees it on social media clips of leather-clad loyalists, signs blazing "Ozzy Forever." It sinks in, this is huge. She gave him a new chapter in 1980, now she's giving him his curtain call. "You ready, love?" she asks, brushing his hair back. "Let's do it," he growls, voice rough but firm. Sharon smiles, her heart cracking. The stage is ready, the crowd's roaring, and she'll guide him there one final time. Whatever comes after, she'll ensure the world remembers Ozzy as the legend he is, and her as the woman who never gave up. This is not the first time Sharon has turned up for Ozzy. Want to know about the other times? Stay tuned. Holding on through the darkness. Sharon Osbourne had seen Ozzy defy the odds time and again, booted from Black Sabbath in 1979, wrestling addiction, even surviving that bat-biting stunt that shocked the world. But by 2023, the enemy wasn't fame or drugs. It was his own body, and it was winning. Parkinson's disease had taken hold, making his hands shake so badly he couldn't grip a pen, let alone a microphone. Years of spinal damage from a 2003 ATV crash and a 2019 fall made every movement agony. Sharon refused to let him give up. "I've got you," she'd say, helping him eat, guiding him to his chair. She wasn't just his wife, now she was his nurse, his anchor. Ozzy hated feeling helpless, muttering about being a burden, but Sharon wouldn't hear it. She'd pulled him from rock bottom before, rebuilding his career from nothing. This fight felt darker, heavier, but she faced it with fierce love, hiding her exhaustion behind a determined smile, vowing to keep her Prince of Darkness shining. How did Sharon survive all the troubles and travail? Stay tuned to find out. The surgeries were a relentless nightmare. After his 2019 fall in Los Angeles, Ozzy's spine was a disaster. Metal rods from the 2003 crash had shifted, sparking nerve pain that burned constantly. By 2023, he'd gone through 7 spinal operations, each one a desperate hope for relief. Sharon stayed by his hospital bed, holding his hand, tossing out jokes to ease the tension. "You're half robot now, love," she'd say, nodding at the hardware in his back. But the truth was grim. Each surgery left him weaker, his body more fragile. The last one, in late 2023, was the final straw. "No more, Sharon," Ozzy rasped, his voice barely above a whisper. She nodded, fighting back tears. She'd watched him endure years of pain, always hoping the next fix would work. Now they were out of options. Sharon kept her fear locked away, knowing he needed her to be strong. But at night, alone, she'd wonder how much time they had left together. Ozzy's glory days felt like a lifetime ago. He used to command stages, leaping around, belting war pigs with raw, untamed power that shook arenas. Now he couldn't even stand without help. Sharon saw the frustration in his eyes. He loathed being trapped in a body that wouldn't move. She'd wheel him into their LA backyard, letting the sun warm his face. "You're still my rock star," she'd whisper, squeezing his hand. He'd manage a weak smirk, but the fire in him was fading. Parkinson's wasn't just stealing his movement, it was dimming his spirit. Sharon tried everything to keep him engaged, playing old Sabbath records and reminiscing about their wild '80s tours. Some days, he'd laugh, telling stories of biting that bat by mistake. On other days, he'd stare out the window, silent. Sharon's heart ached, but she kept pushing, refusing to let the disease win. She'd saved him before she'd find a way to spark that light again, no matter what. Sharon couldn't do it alone anymore. Their kids, Kelly and Jack, stepped up to help with Ozzy's care. Kelly would blast Blizzard of Oz in the house, coaxing a grin from her dad. Jack set up a home studio so Ozzy could record sitting down, keeping music in his life. Sharon was grateful their family was a unit, fighting together. But guilt gnawed at her. "He doesn't deserve this," she'd tell Kelly, voice breaking. She'd rebuilt Ozzy's career and turned him into a solo legend. Why couldn't she fix this? Fans kept the pressure on, flooding social media with pleas for one more show. Sharon read every post, torn. Ozzy missed performing, it was his soul. In 2024 he mumbled, "I want to sing again." Her heart leaped, but doctors warned his body was too weak. Sharon saw that old spark in his eyes and thought, maybe we can make this happen. That spark led to a crazy idea of a Black Sabbath reunion. In early 2025, Tony Iommi called Sharon, pitching one final gig. "Let's give the fans a farewell," he said. Sharon hesitated. Ozzy couldn't walk, could barely sit up some days. But Ozzy overheard, growling, "I'm doing it." She laughed, amazed at his stubborn fire. They locked in on July 5th, 2025 at Villa Park in Birmingham, where it all began. Sharon dove into planning, working with doctors to manage Ozzy's meds and rest. She pushed for a custom throne on stage so he could perform seated. "He'll look like a king," she told the crew. Ozzy chuckled his first real laugh in months. Sharon clung to that sound. It was a lifeline. She knew this show might be his last, a chance to say goodbye his way. For her, it was one more fight to give him what he loved most, the stage. The emotional weight was crushing Sharon. She'd always been the tough one, handling Ozzy's chaos, raising their kids, and navigating fame's storms. Now, she'd cry alone at night, terrified of losing him. "He's my everything," she told Jack, voice trembling. Ozzy's depression flared too. He'd sit in silence, staring at nothing. Sharon fought to pull him back, but some days she felt powerless. Still, she kept going, telling the press about the Birmingham show, calling it the greatest heavy metal farewell ever. Fans went nuts, tickets sold out in hours. Sharon knew this was for Ozzy's legacy, not just a concert. She watched him rehearse at home, singing Paranoid from his wheelchair, voice still raw and alive. "You've got it," she'd say, tears in her eyes. Time was slipping away, but Sharon wasn't ready to let go, not yet. She'd hold on for him, for them, until the very end. The woman who saved the prince. Sharon Osbourne didn't expect to fall for a wild man like Ozzy. She was 18, working as a receptionist for her dad, Don Arden, a tough-as-nails music manager, when they met in 1970. Ozzy was Black Sabbath's frontman, howling dark tunes that freaked people out. Sharon saw past the chaos, a raw talent screaming to be saved. They didn't hook up then. Ozzy was married to Thelma with 2 kids. Sharon stayed in the background, watching him soar with hits like Paranoid and Iron Man. But by 1979, everything changed. Black Sabbath kicked Ozzy out, too much partying, too many fights. Tony Iommi told him he was done, and Ozzy crashed hard, holing up in a hotel with whiskey. He thought his career was over at 30. Sharon tracked him down, banged on his door, and said, "Get up. You're not finished." She meant it, and that moment changed everything. But could she save him from the darkness that was just beginning to unfold? Keep watching to find out. By 1979, Ozzy's world crashed. Black Sabbath fired him too much booze and too many fights. Tony Iommi broke the news, and Ozzy spiraled, hiding in a hotel with whiskey. He thought he was done at 30. Then Sharon showed up, banging on his door. "You're not finished," she said. And she meant it. Sharon became his everything manager, motivator, and lifeline. In 1980, she pushed him to record Blizzard of Oz. Crazy Train rocked the charts, and Ozzy was back. Sharon booked the gigs, counted the cash, and even laughed when he bit a bat's head off on stage. Yep, a real one total accident. They married in 1982, and she took charge of his crazy life. That album wasn't just a hit, it was proof Sharon could turn his chaos into gold. She saw the spark in him when no one else did, and she wasn't about to let it die. Life with Ozzy was never boring. They had 3 kids, Amy, Kelly, and Jack, and turned their madness into the Osbournes TV show in 2002. Sharon stole the spotlight, keeping the family chaos in line with her quick wit. Fans adored her. She wasn't just Ozzy's wife, she was the glue. But off-screen, trouble was brewing. Ozzy's body started breaking down years ago. In 2003, he crashed an ATV on his English estate, broken ribs, collarbone, and a wrecked spine. Sharon rushed him to surgery, holding his hand as doctors stuck metal rods in his back. He survived, but the pain lingered. Then, in 2019, a fall at home made it worse. Those rods shifted, sparking nerve damage. Sharon watched him fight through it, always there, but the cracks were starting to show. Life wasn't just wild anymore. It was getting heavy. Ozzy's body started failing years ago. In 2003, he smashed an ATV on his English estate, broken ribs, collarbone, and a wrecked spine. Sharon rushed him to the hospital, holding his hand as doctors put metal rods in his spine. He pulled through, but the damage stuck around. Then, in 2019, he took a nasty fall at home in Los Angeles. This wasn't just a stumble, it messed up those metal rods, sparked nerve pain, and sent him into a spiral of surgeries. Sharon watched him go under the knife again and again, each time hoping it'd fix him. It didn't. That same year, Ozzy got hit with another blow, Parkinson's disease. Sharon broke the news on the talk, trying to sound strong. "It's not a death sentence," she said, "but it's tough." She wasn't kidding. His hands shook, his energy faded, and Sharon became his everything all over again. Parkinson's hit Ozzy hard. His hands shook, his energy faded, and the wild rock star was slipping away. Sharon stepped up, cutting his food, helping him walk, and sitting through his silent days. Ozzy hated it, muttering he felt useless. Sharon just shrugged. "You're my king," she'd say. She wasn't giving up on him, not ever. By 2022, Ozzy couldn't tour anymore. Sharon announced that his body couldn't handle the stage. He still dropped Patient number 9 that year, a badass album with stars like Jeff Beck. Sharon beamed, but she saw the cost. He leaned on a cane, grimacing with every step. Then, in 2025, she broke the news. Ozzy couldn't walk at all anymore. Wheelchair-bound, he relied on her completely. "It's heartbreaking," she said, voice shaky. She'd been his rock for over 40 years, and she wasn't stopping now. Sharon's been open about how hard this is. She spent over 40 years with Ozzy fighting his demons, building his career, and raising their kids. Now, she's watching him fade. He's still got that gravelly voice, that wicked laugh, but his body's giving up. Doctors say there's not much left to try. 7 spinal surgeries, endless meds, and Parkinson's just keep winning. Sharon's not ready to say goodbye, but she knows it's coming. "He's my soulmate," she said, tears welling up. "I can't imagine life without him." But Ozzy's not going out quietly. Sharon's helping him plan one last show with Black Sabbath, set for July 2025 in Birmingham. He can't stand, but he'll sing maybe from a throne. "If he wants this," she said, "I'll move heaven and earth." That's Sharon still fighting for her prince, even as the darkness closes in. So, what do you think of their love? Do you think Sharon is the glue that has kept Ozzy together so far? Drop it in the comments section below. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more. Also, click the next video shown on your screen, and you will enjoy it.